Shalom all. Praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahshai Bashim Akakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the hopeful elect brothers that's doing the work of the Lord in sincerity and in truth all around the world, right? And that's uplifting the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. Now, the topic of this lesson is the Lord's enemy is Amalek, or Amalek is still the Lord's enemy to this day. And Amalek, or the Amalekites, or Edomites, but they're a tribe of Edomites. They're the head tribe. They're the head tribe of the nation of Edom, right? They're the head tribe of the Edomites. Just like how the tribe of Judah is the head tribe of the nation of Israel, which are you so-called African Americans, right? You Negroes in America, you are the head tribe of the nation of Israel, right? Well, the nation of Edom, these Edomites, these so-called white people, the head tribe of them are the Ish people. If you know who I'm talking about, the Ish people, the small hats, right? So I guess cold. Yeah, the small hats, they are the tribe of Amalek, right? And they run all the industries and all that. They they're at the head, or they own all these companies, right? And when you go into it, these parent companies that buy up these other companies that a lot of people don't know about, they're owned by these Ish families, these small hat families, right? And the world is starting to realize that they are fakes. The world does not like the small hats right now, because the Most High is revealing the truth about them and who they are and how evil they are and how they're in control of everything, and how they're not oppressed or none of that, right? And the world is starting to find out, including our people, that they're not the chosen people, because they dress up as being, as being the chosen people of the Most High, but they're not. Now, this is Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? Now it said the Most High gave rulership of the earth to the wicked, right? And the wicked as a nation are you so-called white people, you Edomites, right? The Most High allowed Esau to gain control of the world, right? By the means of how the so-called white man got control of these different countries, of these different lands, and of these different companies, right? And starting these different companies are is by deception and by war, by violence, by blood. How did the so-called white man take over this land of America, right? He did so by violence and by lying, by not by uh, by coming up with treaties with the natives of this land, which are Israelites, which are Gadites, and also Reubenites. But they did not keep one treaty. They're liars. You know, they're the father. They're the father of lies, according to the scriptures. Right? They are the wicked. And us Israelites, or so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are the righteous. We are the true children of God. We are the children of the Most High. Israel in Hebrew means he is a prince of the power. Yasher Allah. Yah means he, and Shar means prince, and Allah means power. So we are the true children of the Most High. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. And the true judges, starting with the Most High and His Son, and and uh and uh and uh and uh, and under that are His people, right? Right. The Israelites are the true judges of the earth, but He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is He? Right. So who uh who uh who who committed this thing called iconoclasm, where the so-called white man would go and deface the 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 so like it deface the Israelite arts, the paintings and whatnot from the Dark Ages, showing who the angels are, what they look like, which are so-called black men, with beards and with afros, right? And with paintings and art depiction showing the Most High and the Son and how they look. The so-called white man, he defaced or iconoclast, if that's a word, iconoclasm. He painted over those images and portrayed the Most High and His Son and the angels and His people to look like Him, which is wrong. The Most High and His people and the angels and His Son Yahweh Shai are so-called black. They're so-called black. They're dark skinned, right? You go to Revelation, first chapter, it tells you how Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High, looks, right? He's dark skinned with white woolly hair and white woolly afro, white woolly beard and white woolly afro. Let me just get it. Revelation chapter 1 in verse 13. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot. That means the Lord had on a garment which was down to the foot, right? He had on the Israelite garment, which he is an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, the head tribe of the nation of Israel, right? And girt about the paps with a golden girdle. So he had on a golden girdle, which is a golden warrior's belt. Like if you watch wrestling, they have those golden belts. Or if you watch boxing, at the end when they win a match or a couple of matches, they get the golden warrior's belt that goes over their torso. In the ancient world, they covered, for the warriors when they're going to war, they covered their torso, because they were going to war, to defend from getting attacked in that region. Right? So like his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. So the hair on his head and the hair on his face, his beard, were white like wool. White as in color, and and woolly as in texture. He had so-called Negro hair, and his eyes was a flame of fire, meaning that he had red eyes because he drank wine, right? And also he's pissed off with what they did to his people, with what so-called white man did to his people, and pissed off of what they did to him during his crucifixion. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So the Lord Yahweh Shai, had feet like unto fine brass. Brass is already brown, as if they burn in a furnace. When you take brass and you burn it in a furnace, it becomes dark brown. It becomes a darker brown. And his voice at the sound of many waters. Our Lord Yahweh Shai had a very deep voice, a very deep, manly voice, which when he spoke, it it uh it it uh it was loud and it spread, right? And so that's a description of Yahweh Shai. So these so-called white people, they're the devil, especially Amalek, right? Now let's go to Psalms chapter 83. Salaki. Psalms chapter 83. And let me end it off here. This is Psalms chapter 83 in verse 2. In verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and the people of the Lord, the Israelites, right? Negro, Latino, Native American, and consulted against that hidden ones. Now, the reason why we are hidden is because our true nationality was hidden from us for a very long time. We didn't know that we were Israelites, you know. But the Lord, woke us up out of that sleep. Now we know that we're Israelites. They are taking crafty counsel against thy people, and that's these other nations. Because these other nations, when we went into slavery, they were happy, that the Lord's people, had got defeated. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." Right? And that happened for a small amount of time. During slavery, our nationality was beaten out of us, right? And after a certain time, we were taught that we were, less than 3/5 of a man. We were nothing but subhumans. We're just slaves that came from Africa, all that BS. And that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, right? And these small hats, they put themselves up as being God's chosen people. They are identity thieves. Just like if you get your credit card stolen or your information stolen, and someone is using your information to buy something or to do something, right? That's what these ish people have done, against our people and against the Most High. And the crafty counsel is what these nations have, when they gather together. Like at the UN, one of their real purpose when gathering together and having these councils, these meetings, is coming up with ways to further destroy our people and to further keep them from knowing their true nationality, which that's not working anymore. So their next plan is to gonna try to try to destroy us completely, which the Most High is not gonna allow that, right? Because there's an elect that have to be delivered, right? Verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. So all these other nations, they know who they are, especially, the heads of these nations, right? The different governments of these nations, right? From the presidents to the prime ministers and so on and so forth. They know that we're the children of Israel, right? Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man, the Ishmaelites, the Arabs of Moab, the Chinese and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon. Ammon are the Japanese, and Amalek, right? The Philistines are the so-called Philistines are Hamites, right? With the inhabitants of Tyre. Now, it mentioned the so-called white man twice. It says the tabernacles of Edom, and then it says here, and Amalek, right? So, so-called white man as a whole is against us. Putting all type of GMOs and bad foods in our neighborhoods, putting liquor stores in neighborhoods because he knows we're all depressed. Bundling us up and putting us in ghettos and our projects, you know, casting that wicked vibration of, gangster music, and they push for us Jakes to be thugs, and for men to be homosexuals and for women to be whores, through the music and through the media and through the shows and whatnot. And police brutality still going on. Jake's so-called black men are still being hanged even to this day. So we're still being oppressed and we're still in slavery until the Lord come deliver us. So the other nations are our enemies, but so-called white man is our top enemy. And the so-called white man is the enemy of the Most High himself, and is the enemy of the Son of the Most High, which is Yahweh Shai. So he's in big trouble for all that he did to the nation of Israel, for slavery, for slaughtering millions of Native Americans, for not keeping his word of saying, that the Bible, is supposed to be the law of the land, is saying that America, is a Christian nation, and they don't follow the scriptures. When you go into these courts, family court, civil court, whatever it might be, it's all corrupt, and they're these different judges and all that. They're all, they're into worshiping Satan. They're just off, and they take bribes, and and there's a whole bunch of corruption that go on in this land, man, against us, against the real Israelites. But it mentioned Edom and it mentioned Amalek. Now, Amalek, the Ish people, are committing genocide against the Palestinians, which they're Ishmaelites and whatnot. But some of those Palestinians are actually Israelites, right? Some of those Palestinians are actually Israelites, and the whole world is finding out that these ish people are monsters. No one likes them. You know, when you go on YouTube or any one of these social media uh, sites or apps or whatever, another truth, another video is being revealed of what the so-called white man did or is doing, to the water or to or to like or to steal more money from people or whatever, and to what these ish people are doing to these people, in Palestine, in Gaza, and the 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 super elite families, they're Edomites, right? So they're the one that's in control of all this messes going on in the world. It's going on in the Middle East, going on in Ukraine against Russia, it's going on in America. It's going on with the corruption and the economic destruction, destabilization of these different countries. Like the continent of South America, all type of things is going on down there, and in Mexico and all that. All of that really goes back to Esau. When you trace it back, it go back to Esau. And then, you know what? Let me go to let me go to this scripture. Let me go to this scripture and end it off. I'm gonna do a part two, Lord will. Because the inspiration for this video came yesterday when I was, when I was on the job. I saw these family of Amalekites, and you could see the demons on them, see the wickedness on them, and one of the children was wearing, different chains. Had on a pure gold chain, and it had on like different symbols on it, like different satanic symbols on it. Because they're not into the scriptures. They're into the Talmud and all that witchcraft BS. That's what they follow. They don't really follow the scriptures. So, one last scripture. And the Lord is gonna destroy Esau, the nation of Edom, and then he's gonna destroy Amalek, right? And he's gonna put them in slavery, and they're gonna be treated worse than all the other nations that's gonna be in slavery. So this is Exodus chapter 17 and 16, and end it off here. Exodus chapter 17 verse 16. And as a side note, right, one of these parent companies that a lot of people don't know about is BlackRock, that owns a lot of these known companies, and the head of that company is a ish person, or for rather family, a ish family, because these companies a lot of people don't know about, they're run by by uh by 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 families, by different super rich Edomite families. And a lot of them are ish, a lot of them are small hats. And this is Exodus chapter 17 and verse 16. For he said, because the Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shai hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Right? So just because they they have power right now, just because they have super advanced technological weapons. They have lasers in space. They have sonic weapons. They're committing genocide, against Palestinians and in the Middle East. They they're about to cause you know the world to be forced to take the MOTB. Once it's made mandated, and when you take that, that means you're a slave. You're a slave to the so-called white man. If you take that, that means you're the. If you take that, that means you belong to the so-called white man. That's his stamp. That's his mark. You know, the so-called white man is your God, and not the Most High. If you're an Israelite and you take that, you're going to be destroyed. Well, let me read it again. It's Exodus chapter 17 and verse 16. For he said, because the Lord hath sworn, and the Most High swears on himself, because there's no one higher than him, because he is the Most High, that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And when you go to war with another nation, that's your enemy. So Amalek is still the Lord's enemy until this very day. And the Most High is just allowing them to build up their sins, so that when he comes and destroys them, through his son Yahushua, and cart them off into slavery, into captivity, under Yahushua and the elect, it's completely justified, because they've been doing wickedness to his people and to the world and to the rest of the other nations for hundreds of years, not just decades, or hundreds of years, right? They've been taking over lands. They've been destroying the natives. They've been performing coups, I forgot what you call it, in these different countries, and causing the people to rebel against the leader, and then they put in a puppet leader, and then they go in, with their democracy, and then that whole wine that they have the other nations to drink, that cause the other nations to follow their agenda. And one of the so-called white man's agenda, which is satanic, is homosexuality, alphabetism, right? Democracy. He's gonna have to pay for all that. And that's the end of the lesson. Lord, it was edifying. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashmi Ashai Bashmi Kakwadash. Double honors, apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.